friends, it's Jessie here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today's video is going to be a little update on how I am doing 2 weeks into my new lifestyle. If you have never seen one of my videos before, hi, I'm Jessie. I am a 38-year-old wife and mom, and I have been overweight my entire adult life. I have been on many a weight loss journey over the years. I have gained and lost lots and lots of weight, and my latest endeavor is cutting carbs, trying out the keto/carnivore, we'll call it ketovore lifestyle, where I'm eating a primarily meat-based like keto diet. Cutting out carbs, cutting out sugar, which was my main goal, was to get off of my sugar addiction, in addition to losing weight. And I'm 2 weeks in, so it has been 2 weeks since I ate a donut or a cupcake or a box and a half of Little Debbie treats. It's also been 2 weeks since I did any binge eating, so it's a big milestone. 2 weeks isn't a long time, but it's a long time when you're cutting out things that you love and rely on. But honestly, it hasn't really been all that hard, because I have not been counting calories, counting carbs, doing anything. I've been eating as much as I want, as long as I stick to the foods that are, the safe foods, the good foods. I don't like using labels like safe, bad foods, that sort of thing, but just for the sake of this video, it's kind of the easiest way to describe it. I'm not eating my no-no foods, right? No bread, no sugar, no muffins, none of that. It's primarily meat, dairy products, and some green vegetables. That's what I've been eating for the last 2 weeks. I have been partaking in a few diet sodas here and there, Coke Zero mostly. I haven't quite been able to give that up yet, but it's kind of one of those things, like if I try to give up everything all at once, I'll probably fail. So I've just been sticking to what I can do. And the fact that I have not eaten a potato chip in 2 weeks, when I would regularly binge eat an entire bag of potato chips, I'm taking that as a win. So I have been eating lots of beef and bacon and eggs. I think I've eaten more eggs in the last 2 weeks than I did all last year, if I'm being honest. And just eating as much of those things as I want. I've found that I've naturally kind of gotten into a pattern of 2 meals a day with sometimes a snack in the middle. And in terms of snacks, I'm eating like pepperoni or a little bit of cheese or cottage cheese, that sort of thing. The only true junk food that I consider junk food anyway, the closest thing to the types of snacks I was having before that I've been eating, is pork rinds, and not very many of those even. So it's been easier than I originally thought. I thought that I would crave these carbs and these sugary things that I spent years primarily eating. I've been known to buy a dozen donuts and have that be all I eat in a day, plus a bunch of diet soda and coffee with a lot of sugar-free creamer. And those days are behind me, hopefully for good. I haven't really craved anything. I've been drinking a ton of water, which is not my norm. There definitely were days before when I wouldn't drink any water at all except what was in my coffee. So I'm drinking a ton of water. I'm eating lots of protein, lots of fat, lots of really fatty steaks and ground beef, chicken wings, that sort of thing, and just eating as much of those things as I want. Now, I have been kind of very loosely counting calories, but not for restriction purposes, just to make sure that I'm getting enough to eat, because I stay so full on these foods. It's sometimes hard to get enough calories in a day. I'll eat 3 eggs and a couple of slices of bacon at 10 a.m. and then I won't be hungry the rest of the day sometimes. So I am counting just for the sake of that, but I have not counted a single thing that has gone into my mouth in terms of like limiting myself. It's not like I hit a certain calorie point and I stop eating. I eat if I'm hungry, no matter what time of day it is. Like I said, I've sort of naturally fallen into this like intermittent fasting 2 meals a day type thing where it's usually I'm not getting hungry until 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just except for my morning coffee, which I have with just some half and half. I've completely given up artificial sweetener in the last 2 weeks, with the exception of what's in my diet sodas. And in terms of the Coke Zeros, I've had like 4 in 2 weeks, which for me, sometimes I would drink 4 a day on my really bad days. So it's way better. But I'm not putting like artificial sweetener in my coffee. It's just half and half. I'm not measuring it, just kind of pouring it till it's light enough, you know, not limiting myself if I want an extra slice of bacon or if I want some more butter. I eat it, and I eat until I'm satiated, and then I stop and I don't eat again until I'm hungry. So there's been days where I have fasted and only done 1 meal a day. There's been days where I've eaten 4 or 5 times a day, just depending on what I've chosen to eat. But I have not had any of those carby things that, like, as soon as I start eating that type of thing, I have a hard time stopping. And what I found is that I don't really crave them, but I imagine that if I were to go and eat a muffin, for example, my husband bought some muffins for breakfast. We're out camping right now. If I were to go and eat one of those muffins, I imagine 20 minutes later, I would then eat another muffin. You know, it spikes your blood sugar, and then you crash, and then you're hungry again. I don't find that to be the case with the way that I'm eating now. So it's been pretty easy, and I have lost weight. I have pretty much been weighing in almost every day just to kind of see the fluctuations and whatnot. I really like that. I'm a big like data and numbers person. I like to see how things fluctuate, but there hasn't been a lot of fluctuation. My weight has not gone up a single day since I started this way of eating. It's only been 2 weeks. I'm certain it's going to go up at some point, but my weight has very steadily, very slowly been going down. And in the last 2 weeks, I've lost 9.8 pounds, which is amazing. So obviously some of that's water weight, but probably not all of it. It's been nice and slow and steady. Like, I'll lose half a pound and then I'll stay the same weight for a day or 2, sometimes even 3, and then I'll drop another half a pound. So it's like very steady going down. I'll pop up screen caps of my app that comes with my Fit Index scale that I use to weigh myself. I don't really put too much stock into like all of the other measurements. It measures like body fat percentage and, BMR and all of that. I look at those numbers just because it's fun, so I'll include them. But for the most part, I'm just looking at my weight. And obviously there are a lot of other ways to discern like how you're doing with this journey, like how you're feeling. I've been feeling pretty good. There's been some digestive adjustments happening, but overall, I feel really good. I'm not hungry. It's amazing to me that I'm not hungry. Before, I was hungry all the time. And it's really helped with like my stress eating, because when I'm stressed, my first inclination was always to go grab a donut, eat some ice cream. Like I said, those little Debbie treats were like my trigger food for sure. And now if I want to stress eat, I'm stress eating like salami. So it's not quite the same, right? And I get very full very fast eating so much protein and so much fat and stuff. So it's been good. It's only 2 weeks in. I am hoping that this is the way that I'm going to eat forever, because I feel really good, but Lord knows I've done plenty of diets in the past where 2 weeks in I was like, this is great. I don't know how I ever ate the way I did before. And then, you go off the rails. So I'm just trying to do my best. The fact that I am giving up the processed foods, like the Hot Pockets and the frozen burritos and the frozen pizza and stuff, is great for my overall health, especially with my autoimmune disease, my sarcoidosis. that's an inflammatory disease, and so like cutting back inflammation has been good. And like I said, I've been drinking a ton of water because, without those carbohydrates that do so much for hydration, I definitely need a lot of water. I did buy those packets, the electrolyte packets from Element, to try to make sure that I didn't get like keto flu or like headaches or whatever, but I've only used one of them. I haven't had any negative side effects other than some digestive adjustments. I never got any of the brain fog people talk about. I never got like the headaches, dizziness, anything like that, which I'm grateful for. I don't know how many carbs I'm eating. I don't know if I'm like in ketosis. I don't care about that. I'm just using this as a tool to cut out the sugar and the carbs. And I'm not cutting out carbs completely. I'm just trying to limit them. I'm definitely still eating green vegetables. I'm not going to cut those out entirely, but I'm not going to have potatoes either, at least not right now. Maybe someday I'll incorporate those back in, but right now this is what's been working for me. If you guys are interested in seeing what I eat in a day on, I guess I'm going to call it KETOVORE. I don't really like labels, but just to make the video searchable, I have to call it something. So it's low carb, call it whatever you want. It's working. So that is my update. I started out this journey, and this was not my highest weight ever. My highest weight ever, I think, was 296. So almost 300 pounds. But when I started this journey, and I'm pulling up my Fit Index app here, I started on September 23rd, and at that point in time, I was 287.2 pounds, and today I sit at 277.4. It's the lowest weight I have been all year. I went back through all of my weigh-ins over the course of the last couple of years on this scale, and the last time that I was this low, and it wasn't even quite this low, this is my lowest weight all year, but the last time it was low, and I know that 277 pounds is not low, but we're talking, in comparison to some of the higher numbers I've seen this year, was like January 12th or something. So it's been a long year, lots of yo-yos with my weight going up and down, but hopefully it's going to stay the course and continue to go down as we progress through the year. My first goal is just to get to 270 pounds. I'm trying to take it slow, not spend too much time thinking too far into the future, because I have a lot of weight to lose, and my ultimate goal weight is very, very far off. I'm just trying to stick to staying off of those foods that are, they're not good for me. They're inflammatory. They make me feel like crap. I am pre-diabetic. I have fatty liver disease. I have the sarcoidosis. I have high blood pressure. I have the herniated disc in my back, and all of this weight I'm carrying just makes that worse. So I'm doing this for my health, and so far it's working. So that's all I can do. I'm going to continue to keep you guys updated as I progress, and hopefully, a year from now I'll be in a better place. But I'm trying, like I said, not to think too far ahead. I'm just trying to get through each day, and right now we're 2 weeks in, and I couldn't be happier. Bye, friends.